Hello again, everybody. Welcome to Ken Knows Gambling. It's Friday, so I guess TGIF, right? Well, I'm going to continue today with my little bitty mini series that really we're going to deal with laying. There's offensive laying, there's defensive laying. Right now, I'm in the defensive part. My first one was yesterday where we talked about the lay 4, lay 10. I went over all the math and everything behind it. And now, my member, Bruce, I think this is the one he was really asking for. Okay, we know that if you're trying to cover a don't pass or don't come, we talked about that one. Okay, we went through all over the math and all that. Well, now he's saying, well, what about, what about doing the 4 and the 10? Okay. And actually, I can do this. Say you got a $50 bet and you want to protect it. Well, you can't just do a $50 lay on a 4 because that only give you 25 bucks. All right. However, if you lay both the 4 and 10, now the math is still going to work out. All right. So let me share this with you. You can't get hit on both of these at the same time. All right. So you're talking about 6 ways for a 4 or 10 to be hit. So this $50 can lose 6 ways. However, on the don't pass, in other words, you can hit a 4 or 10 6 ways. But a 7 can be made 6 ways. It's a tie. Right? It's a tie. What you do lose is the VIG times 2. Now, however, covering it this way does have an advantage. Now, you're going to lose the 2 to 1 advantage on a 4 or the 10. You're still going to bet $100. Like if I bet 100 to win 50, the 7 will still give me $50 covering it that way because it's going to give me 25 here and 25 here. But here's the key difference in splitting it like this. If the 7 comes, yes, you win 25 and 25, boom, 50, you're covered. Okay? But if the 4, let's say, gets hit, you lose 50. Now, you could actually take your 10 down. You're down 50 and just go with a don't pass to get even. You don't have to do odds. You don't have to do anything else. It's almost a 1-to-1 bet if you do it this way. The only thing you're losing is double VIG, really, and you're gaining ways to get hit. Instead of 3 ways only, now it's 6 ways. So that really becomes an even money bet, doesn't it? So, if you split them, you gain 3 more ways to get hit. However, because this pays and this pays on a 7, you're still going to get your $50 but can only lose one of them. Instead of doing this where you would lose it all. You can't lose it all splitting it up like that. Are you with me? And if one of these goes down, you can bring that other one down back to the rack and hope this one comes. Let's say the point was whatever. And the point gets hit. All right, so you lost. Well, no, the point would be a 4. I'm sorry. Point would be a 4. You lost that one. And then the 4 gets hit again. You lost that one. So you're down 100. Versus, let's say you've got $100 here to protect this 50. Okay, so now if the 4 went, boom, you lose 100. And then the 4 gets hit again, you're down 150. All right, but again, doing it this way, okay, bam, the 4 gets hit. All right, now you're 1-on-1. If the 0.7 out comes now, you got your 50 back. No odds, no getting in too much deep trouble. And it's not, but it's almost a 1-to-1 bet at that point because of the split. So there's a lot of argument, and the argument really is this. Do you want to go for 3 chances to get hit and put it all on the 4 or 10, or split it, still getting $50, but only can lose 1? That way, it's just now get to 7 and you're even without adding odds, without doing anything else. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you giving up those extra 3 is the thing to do, but I'm not going to tell you it ain't either. All right? It makes sense to do this. It really, really does. You're still only giving up 6 out of 36 ways. It's still a decent bet. So let's just roll one and just see. It's a 1-roll type of proposition. Here we go. It's the 7. In this case, 25 and 25 is 50. You lose 50. It's a push minus VIG. Now remember, it's 5%. On a lay, it's 5% of what you would get. So you'd get $25. Well, that's $2.50. It's $1.25. It's $1 VIG here and $1 VIG here. All right, you lose $2 VIG. All right, to get that $50. Okay. Now, bringing up VIG, there's the, people say, yes, I'm going to lay to recover. No, I'm not. And generally the people that go, no, I'm not, when you do all the math, go and lay in anything you want to, it evens out. I mean, it's just equal one way versus the other. It's the VIGs over time that you lose. And then thus they go, just go naked. You're better off. Right? And of course, there's, again, like I told you yesterday, people will draw the line in the sand. DI, for example. No, you can't. Yes, I can. Laying to protect. No, you shouldn't. Yes, you should. So I'm going to ride the fence here. I've been known to lay both ways. It just depends on what I'm trying to accomplish. A lot of times, if I just want a 1-roll protection, then those 3, right now it's 6 ways to lose. Those 3 extra ways become important. Okay? So if I'm doing something defensively like this, I may, let's say we have a $50 bet. I can come out here and do the 100 for 1 lousy roll. Doesn't guarantee you're going to avoid that 4, but just for 1 roll, you're not keeping this up. I may do it that way. There's the 8. That's all I needed. Point comes 8, that comes down. Or, even if you wanted to do it for 1 roll, and everything that I have just told you previously, it's still 1 roll, but you're not wanting to get the total hit if one of those happens. You're just increasing the chances of it can get hit. All right, so you have to decide which way you want to do it if you're going to lay to protect. So on 1 roll here, it's a 3. We'd actually win that one. Nothing happens there. We'd be in good shape. Versus the 8. There's the 8 again. Boink. It comes out. We're good. So that is laying the 4 and the 10. It's got its advantage for what I just said. You're just giving up those 3 extra possible hits and double VIG. But again, say $2. It's really $1.25, but they're just going to round down. If you did put 100, that means they would pay you 50 10%, that's five. That's $2.50. They'll probably charge you $2. They round down. So, 6 and 1, half a dozen the other. I see laying that way has an advantage that this doesn't. For what I explained, okay? Not a bad way to go either. It's just not. Some people use this offensively, and I'll get to that. All right. So that is covering the lay and the 4-10. In my little mini series, I'm going to talk about laying the 5 and 9 or the 6 or 8. We're going to talk about offensively laying the back wall or using the 4 or 10 as offense, or 5 and 9 or 6 and 8. We're going to talk about using the lay as like a hybrid. Let's say you're laying 50 here and 50 here. The 7 produces 50. Now you can sit here and come out inside. You're using this. We're not even using this down here. You're using this to protect the inside so it can rank. And then sooner or later, you can take these down. All sorts of things you can do laying. So this was my second in a series that I'm going to do. It's all about laying, why, wherefore, odds. And you're going to find out all the odds are going to be, they've got this down to where their advantage is the big. Then you just have to decide which way you want to go. As I do the 5s and 9s and 6s, 8s, you're going to find out the math works even. It's a game of opposites, right? You just have to make your call. All right, so there you go, Bruce. I think that's what you were asking. And if you want to go that way, I understand why. I do. It's almost like getting an even money bet, but you're not. All right. But anyway, there you go for right now. Until the next time, be great. See you. Bye.